What is up, guys? ZPG here, and as you can see, I'm not in Kanto. Indeed, I am here in Unova because I'm here with one of my first, what I hope will be the first of many Pokemon Wi-Fi battles. This is a 5th generation battle, as you can see by the team preview here. He's got things like his Victini, I've got my Carracosta. So this is a 5th gen Wi-Fi battle, and I would just like to start off with an apology because I found this battle on the Smogon Wi-Fi Battle Finder, and what I thought, because I'm not very versed in the Smogon metagames, so when I put UU, thinking it meant, okay, use Ubers, it actually meant underuse, which as you can see, which is why he's got Pokemon like his Whimsicott and his Shaymin. He's got a Pokemon that you don't see quite rarely. So this battle, I guess you could say, was won at the the misinformation, is what I'm looking for, of my enemy, because you can see I've got Uber Pokemon, you know, I've got Garchomp, I've got the Deoxys-A attack form, which doesn't do much, but it's there anyway. So anyway, let's kick it off. So this is against zommy08, as I said. I found this out on the Smogon Wi-Fi Battle Finder. I'm going to lead off with my Quadrotor, beautiful nickname for my Crobat here, which is a status set Crobat. It's one of its two main moves are Toxic and Confuse Ray. He's going to go with that shining Whimsicott, and he's going to get that priority move Taunt on, which, as I just said, now as I've got a status move Crobat, that is going to disable two of my moves, my Confuse Ray and my Toxic. So, but I still have some decent attacks. I'm going to go for the Aerial Ice, which is going to do a nice chunk of damage. It's going to do about half, and it would have been nice if he stayed in, but obviously this is, you know, that competitive, so he's not going to do that. So he's going to predict that I'm going to go for the second Aerial Ice, and he's going to switch to his Uxie, which I did go for the Aerial Ice, so that's going to hit the Uxie. He's not going to do that much damage, about maybe around 10% or so. So I'm going to switch back, predicting he might have some sort of psychic move, you know, maybe a psychic or a Zen headbutt or something of that nature. So I'm going to switch to my goggles. And he's going to set up Stealth Rock. And just a pre-warning, I got this goggles, this Flygon in a trade, and one of its moves, as you'll see later, is Dragon Dance, which obviously Flygon can't learn. So just sorry about that before you get all butthurt in the comments. So I'm gonna go for the U-turn, which is super effective because it's a bug type move, and I'm gonna switch into Machro, which is my absolutely awesome Garchomp. Which I wish I switched into first, and I gone for the Crunch, which would have been probably more damage, since this Machro is max speed, max attack, max HP, or just max attack and max HP, I think is the deal. I don't know, I'm not quite too sure about my Machro stats. I'm a really bad trainer, I don't know my own Pokemon stats. But anyway, he goes for the Flat, raising that team's defense, which is really annoying because I have the max attack, so that does hold out and surviving what would have been some of his KOs. So he sent out his Suicune. I do end up going for the Crunch in hopes again that he would have stayed in his Uxie, but obviously he predicted that I would have had some sort of move that would have been super effective, you know, maybe Night Stash or X-Scissor or Crunch. So I did go for the Crunch, which plus the Reflect probably does not do that much damage on Suicune, and it has leftovers as well, so the damage I do is pretty much null and void. I'm going to switch back, predicting that it is a special Suicune and might carry something like Ice Beam, which I do not want to hit to my Garchomp because obviously Dragon and Ground, that would be absolutely terrible. So I switch into my Mug, which is my Vaporeon actually, and I do take some damage from the Stealth Rock. And it turns out that maybe, yeah, he is a special set Suicune, because as he goes for the Calm Mind, boosting his special defense and his special attack, that special defense boost does come in handy for him, does go to his advantage, and again my disadvantage, as I do have a Choice Scarf to Muck, which has Rain Dance, Scald, Aqua Tail, which I know is physical, and just to get that variety, and Acid Armor. Obviously, as I'm Choice Scarfed, as I use Acid Armor, that's all I can use until I switch Pokemon. So I go for this Armor and I get that that defense and that special defense boost. He goes for the Hidden Power, which boosted by his +1 special attack from his Calm Mind. That does quite a bit of damage. I'm not sure what type it is, might have been grass, might have been electric, I don't know, that depends on his IVs and stuff. So not wanting to take another one of those, I switched to Kame, my Carracosta, which I know definitely have invested in that max HP, max defense. It is my absolute wall. So he goes for another Calm Mind, boosting his special attack and his special defense again. So we've got +2 special defense and +2 special attack, meaning that another one of those super effective hidden powers is going to be absolutely horrible. And he does outspeed me, which is a shame. I can't quite remember if I survived this. I don't think I do. Yeah, looking at that HP, I do survive that, which is quite lucky. There's not much I can do because I am a defensive set, with my Carracosta, I have my moves are Substitute and Protect, and I also have Stone Edge and Rock Slide. So obviously not having enough HP, or I don't know, I didn't try it, but maybe I don't have enough HP to go for the Substitute, so instead go for the Stone Edge, maybe hoping to get a critical hit, which unluckily I don't. So, and he goes again, got that +2 hidden power special attack, so he goes for the hidden power and takes down my Carracosta, which is a shame. It would come in really come in handy, as you'll see later on in the battle, where I make a really bad mistake. So again, you know, he's nullifying most of my damage with that, because I'm not doing most damage, and so that leftovers is taking most of the HP back. So I switch into my Autobot, my attack form Deoxys, which is a beast most of the time, but this time around was not the best. In retrospect, I should have given it a choice band instead of a choice scarf, but because of the choice scarf, obviously it means I get to strike first, I get that plus 50% speed. So I go for the slash, which does a decent amount of damage. Again, if I had the choice band and I got the 50% attack, then it probably would have done a lot of damage. The reflect finally wears off, meaning physical moves do a lot more damage. As you can see here, like with the second slash, that's all I can do, as I have the choice band. You see they're doing a lot more damage, you know. Again, in retrospect, if I had 50%, it would have been better. Now, because I've got an attack form Deoxys, it does not have the best defenses. So, as it's got that +2 special attack, it goes for the Hydro Pump, which and it's got the type bonus, the +2 special attack, and my horrible defenses, meaning that Deoxys is KO'd straight away, which is a shame. Again, it would have been a good asset to have later in the battle. Again, it goes for the leftovers, but at least Deoxys managed to do quite a lot of damage. I think without Deoxys doing stashes, then I would have been in real trouble with the Suicune. So I switch into my Vaporeon, which I named Mark, you know, because of the acid armor and melting into water, all that type deal. I go for the Scald. I am invested in special attack, as I've got the Rain Dance as well to boost those attacks. I don't use Rain Dance, but it will just help some water type moves. I am lucky enough to get the burn off though, which is quite nice. It fires off that hidden power again, you know, boosted by that +2 special attack, which does take me down, which is a shame. Again, Mark would have been a very valuable asset later on in the game, but that burn does prove very handy, as it cuts his attack, but that doesn't really do much. It doesn't from what I've seen from its moves, it doesn't have any physical moves for the burn to affect, but the burn damage does sort of nullify. That's like the favourite word I've used so much in this commentary right now, but it does nullify its leftovers. Yeah, lost my train of thought there. So I switch into my Quadrotor, taking massive damage from that Stealth Rock, because I'm part Flying type, so it does do a lot of damage. So, but I do outspeed it, which is lovely, and I go for the Aerial Ace, which finally takes down that Suicune, which is nice. I could have stayed into my Garchomp, you know, and it didn't appear to have any sort of Ice Beam or special Ice move, which I thought it would. Sorry. So I take it down there. He switches into his Victini, which is Psychic Fire, so predicting some kind of Psychic type move. I switch back out from my Quadrotor into Machro, my awesome Garchomp. So he goes with Bolt Strike, so he's trying to, looks like he was trying to exploit that flying type nature I had on my Crobat, and that switch that I made did go to my advantage, as obviously with that being Dragon Ground type, that Bolt Strike didn't do any damage. So probably predicting again, you know, as I had the crunch, as you saw the crunch that I had earlier, probably predicting that I'd go for the crunch. He does switch out into a Psychic type, which doesn't really work. Maybe he knows that, maybe he predicted that I had Earthquake, but I use none of those moves. Instead I go for the Dragon Rush, and I go for it again because I do outspeed this Uxie, so I take down that Uxie just like that, which is nice, meaning we're not going to get any more annoying reflex, so I can use my attack to the maximum potential. Excuse me. He does send up his Whimsicott, which does prove to be quite annoying, because he does manage to outspeed me again. You know that maybe it has the Prankster ability, and that's why the status and decent moves have that speed priority. So he goes for the Para Hacks with the Stun Spore, which is annoying, and it does affect me quite a lot, meaning I can't move. He goes for the U-turn, which is more damaging to him than me, because I do carry the Rough Skin ability, so that does quite a nice bit of damage there, and my leftovers would heal any damage that I took from that U-turn. So he takes back his Whimsicott from the U-turn, and he sends out his Shaymin. I don't know why it doesn't carry, unless it's got a hidden power ice or something like that, then it doesn't carry anything that can really do any damage to me. So that sort of did confuse me a bit. Maybe he was planning to confuse me, get me to switch into something else. So I do heal with the leftovers. That Paralyze does do some damage to me, and not wanting to be affected by the Paralyze or see if it's got some sort of hidden power ice, I do switch it to my Quadrotor in the hopes that I can outspeed it and get some Aerial Ace damage on. So it turns out to be a defensive type, maybe. We don't get to see many more of its moves, we only get to see one more of its moves, so it sends out the Substitute, I just thought it did my Black Sludge. And it turns out it's also got leftovers. He seems to be very fond of leftovers, so that does lead me to think that this Shaymin is a defensive type, you know, the substitute and the leftovers. So go for the Aerial Ace. Sadly, I didn't outspeed it, but this super effective Aerial Ace does take down his... Sorry, it does take down his Shaymin substitute. In retrospect, I know there's a lot of retrospect in this battle, but I do carry Sludge Bomb as my other offensive move, and that would have been maybe a lot more useful. It was super effective, and I could have gotten a Poison up, and I could have gotten some nice poison damage. And it turns out he's carrying Air Slash, which is really not what I was expecting. You know, not the conventional Shaymin set. I was expecting it to carry maybe Seed Flare or Seed Bomb or some super powerful grass move like that. So I go for the Air Slash again, which does do quite a lot of damage. Sadly, it does not take it down, so another one will do so. He goes for the Air Slash again. I think with those doing those consecutive Air Slashes, he was hoping to possibly land a quick I can't talk. I think he was hoping to land a critical, which I don't know if that would have done a lot of damage. I don't know what his attack stat is, but yeah, I think that's what his plan was. I go for the Aerial Ace again. You know, not willing to take any risk by missing my move, so I do finish off his Shaymin with that Aerial Ace, which is beautiful. And now this is where it gets really stally. You know, if that is even a word, well, it's not a word. It is now. He's on Dark Cave, which is his own Crobat. So I go for the Confused Ray, as I'm not affected by that Whimsicott's taunt as I was early on in the beginning of the match. So I go for the Confused Ray. Ends up not doing anything at all. He doesn't hit. Spoiler, he doesn't hit himself at all. Spoiler over. And he turns out that he is probably a physical attack, max attack, max speed, I'm guessing, as he goes for the Brave Bird, which does do enough damage to take me out, which is a shame, you know. But it's not like I would have been able to do much. This Confusion doesn't affect him, and I wouldn't have been able to poison him with Toxic. Sludge Bomb would have done nothing, and Aerial Ace would have, again, not done the most damage. So that was a bad matchup to begin with. I do send out my goggles, and this is where the mishap does occur shortly, as Goggles does carry Goggles does have very nice special attack, and as a result it does carry Rock Slide, which does do quite a nice amount of damage. You know, another Rock Slide, now you're thinking, another Rock Slide, yeah, will definitely take it down. You see the Confusion isn't doing much, it snaps out straight away. It goes for the Toxic, and that wouldn't have mattered, but you look at the complete mishap I made, probably get excited that yes, I was going to win this, and you see there's the similarity. His Crobat is even carrying the Black Sludge like mine was. But anyway, back to the battle. I take some damage from that Toxic Poison, and you're thinking, oh, another Rock Slide would have finished him off. But no, in my mishap, I slipped and I hit Dragon Dance, which is a shame as well, because I outsped it with the Quick Claw. So that Rock Slide would have taken it down. And now because of that silly move, it does last longer and does become a real nuisance. So it does turn out that it has Boost as well, which is really annoying as it heals its HP, making the damage that I did with the Rock Slide essentially useless. And again, it basically gets itself back up to max HP with the Black Sludge healing as well. So I take in, you know, increased damage from the Toxic. I'm going to go for the Rock Slide again, which is what I should have done earlier. I would have taken it down, it would have made this a quicker battle, but you know, you can't change the past. It does manage to avoid the Rock Slide, which is really unfortunate, and it goes again for another Brave Bird, which does do a ton of damage, and I'm basically going to fall prey to Toxic, as you'll see soon. It does take recoil damage, but again, not really worrying about that as he gets the Black Sludge healing. I fall prey to Toxic, leaving me with 1 HP, you know, that merciless Toxic saying, no, I'm going to leave you to at my own mercy. I do hit the next Rock Slide, which does a lot more damage than it did before, which is quite nice. So it's just a shame that I didn't hit the other one, or else I might be able to heal it. I might have been able to take it down, but again, super annoying. It does go again for the Roost, which does boggle me, as the animation for Roost has feathers, but Crobat has no feathers. Pokemon trivia. So it restores HP again, and then getting the double HP restore because it's got the Black Sludge as well to restore that tiny bit of HP. I'm going to fall prey to the Poison, which is a shame as I have lost both my Rock type users. Carracosta was my other Rock type user, which would have been really useful right now. But this is where I see why they've put Garchomp into Ubers, because this is where that Garchomp just sweeps. it sweeps the rest of his team, which was absolutely awesome when I was playing, just going, go Garchomp, go! I don't know why he went for the roost when he could have gone, well, he wouldn't have gone for the Toxic anyway because I'm paralysed. I don't know why he went for the roost when he could have gone for the Brave Bird and done some more damage, but I go, you know, with that, because he doesn't have any damage, because he doesn't have any defense boosts, I go for the Dragon Rush, which does a ton of damage, quite a lot, and I restore HP with my leftovers, getting me to a good amount of HP. So there he does go for the Brave Bird, but that does prove to be more detrimental to him than me, because I wall that out quite nicely, but I do carry the Rough Skin ability, which does damage to him, and then he also manages to take recoil damage, and I do Dragon Rush him, and I finish off his Crobat nicely, and the paralyzation doesn't actually affect me. The only way it affects me obviously is by cutting my speed, but I don't actually get stopped by paralyzation anymore in this battle, which is quite nice. So I do take some leftovers recovery there, and he does send out his Victini. Yeah, that's right, I can read Japanese and what? But he sends out his Victini. Here you can see he's running out of options here. He goes for the Brick Break, which again is more detrimental to him than me, because I wall that quite nicely, and he takes the Rough Skin damage. Beautiful ability, Rough Skin. And he loses that HP. So I go for the Earthquake, which is going to be super effective, as Victini is part I get the ground type bonus, and he's part fire, meaning that there's the super effective damage, and that Earthquake does take him down nicely, even though I'm not really invested in special attack. So yeah, that was awesome. So again, the leftovers, I think the leftovers really did come into play, you know, give me those tiny bits of HP, which to help me wall some of the attack that he got. So this is his last Pokemon. He does send out that shiny Whimsicott, which we saw earlier in the game. I have no super effective moves. He goes for the U-turn, which again, you know, those physical moves, so detrimental to him than me because of my Ruskin ability. So he takes damage there. He's known to switch to, and I go for the Dragon Rush. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is the battle. So I thank you for watching my first Wi-Fi battle. You know, just Machro there, roaring, like, yes, in victory, because I just swept the team. So I do thank you for watching this Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and favourite. And I will be doing more of these. If you want to join in on the fun, my friend code is in the description down below, so you can check that out. And I will see you later, probably in the next Fire Red LP or the next battle. But again, I thank you for watching. I will get better at this. I will go and change Flygon's moveset. And I will see you later. Ciao.